Hello, welcome to the Mark Janad Show, the Cybersecurity Show. In this video, I'm going to talk about top cybersecurity tips to stay safe online, right? I'm going to talk about how you can effectively use a password manager and what you should look for in a secure VPN and how you can keep your software and apps up to date automatically. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going dark. So in order to stay safe online, you're going to want to use strong and unique passwords, right? Create long and unique passwords for each account, ideally using a password manager to keep track of them. You're going to want to enable two-step verification, right? Add an extra layer of security by enabling two-step verification on your accounts, which requires a secondary factor for logging in. You want to keep software updated. Regularly update all software on your devices to protect against vulnerabilities that could be exploited by malware or ransomware. You have to use secure networks. Avoid using public Wi-Fi for sensitive transactions. If necessary, use a VPN to secure your connection. Be cautious of phishing. Always validate URLs and be wary of suspicious emails or messages that ask for personal information. Report phishing attempts to help combat cyber criminals. Think before you click. Be mindful of the links you click and the attachments you open, as they would be malicious. Okay, just hover that mouse over it. If it looks suspicious, just take that mouse back. You know what I mean? Backup important data, right? Regularly back up your data to protect against data loss from cyber attacks. Check privacy settings. Regularly review and adjust the privacy settings on your apps and devices to ensure they align with your comfort level for information sharing. Be wary of online strangers. Avoid sharing personal information with people you meet online, as scammers often impersonate others to gain trust. Share with care, right? Consider the implications of what you post online, as it can be difficult to remove once shared. Please take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and like button. Once again, please take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and like button. So how can you effectively use a password manager, right? Because we talked about it a little bit. To effectively use a password manager, choose it first, right? Choose a password manager. Select a reliable password manager based on privacy, security, and ease of use. There are, options. There are Bitwarden, 1Password, Dashlane, and Keeper that are recommended, right? You can create a master password. Set up a strong master password that is at least 16 characters long. This password should be memorable, as it will be the key to accessing all of your passwords or other passwords, right? Consider using a complete sentence or series of words. Install necessary software. Download the Password Manager's app on your devices and install any required browser extensions. This will allow you to access your passwords across different platforms. Then you're going to want to store and generate passwords, right? Begin by logging into your accounts and saving the passwords in the manager. Use the Password Manager to generate strong, unique passwords for each account, replacing any weak or reused ones, right? Enable additional security features. Turn on features like two-factor authentication. Yes, you can have two-factor authentication on various layers of cybersecurity devices or software, right? And you can turn on features like two-factor authentication for added security. Some password managers offer dark web monitoring and security alerts to notify you of data breaches. You then can sync across devices. Ensure your password manager syncs your passwords across all your devices, allowing you to access them anytime, anywhere. Share passwords securely if needed. Use the password manager's secure sharing feature to share passwords with trusted individuals without exposing them in plain text. What should you look for in a VPN, right? There are so many different types of options right there. It depends on your situation. So when choosing a secure VPN connection, consider these, right? Strong encryption. Look for a VPN that uses industry standard encryption such as AES 256-bit, which is considered very secure and is used by banks and government agencies. You then have the no-log policy. Ensure the VPN provider has a strict no-log policy, meaning they do not store any information about your online activities. This is crucial for maintaining your privacy. Then there's the kill switch, right? A kill switch is an important feature that automatically disconnects your internet if the VPN connection drops, preventing your data from being exposed. You have IP address masking. The VPN should offer robust IP address masking capabilities, allowing you to appear as if you are browsing from different locations, which enhances privacy and can help bypass geo restrictions. Server locations and speed for VPNs, right? Consider the number and distribution of servers as well as the VPN speed. More servers in diverse locations can provide better performance and more options for IP addresses. Okay. Also for VPNs, secure authentication. Look for VPNs that offer secure authentication methods like multi-factor authentication to protect against unauthorized access. Transparency and reputation. Choose a VPN provider with a good reputation and transparency in their operations. This includes being regularly audited by independent parties to ensure they adhere to their privacy policy or policies, right? Then you have jurisdiction. Be aware of the jurisdiction under which the VPN operates, as local laws can affect data privacy and security. Some countries have strong data protection laws, which can, be beneficial. So one of the most important things about being safe is keeping your software up to date, and you can do so automatically. To keep your software and apps up to date automatically, you're going to want to use these strategies. Enable automatic updates. Most reputable software and operating systems allow you to enable automatic updates. This feature ensures that updates are downloaded and installed without manual intervention. Check the settings of each application and your operating system to enable this option. You can then use you could use built-in update tools. For Windows, utilize Windows Update to keep the operating system and Microsoft applications updated. The Microsoft Store also automatically updates apps by default, but you can manually check for updates by visiting the store and clicking on Get Updates in the Library section. You can employ software updater tools. Consider using third-party software updater tools like Patch My PC Home Updater, AddLight Software U-Check, or IOBit Software Updater. These tools can scan your system for outdated applications and automate the update process for multiple programs at once. For instance, Patch My PC can be scheduled to run scans at regular intervals, ensuring your applications stay current without manual checks. You can set reminders for manual checks. If certain applications do not support automatic updates, set a reminder, right? Quarterly, if you will, to manually check for updates. This habit can help ensure that you don't miss critical updates for less common software because it slips through the cracks, right? Download from official sources, right? Always ensure that updates are downloaded from official sources to avoid malware. Be cautious of pop-ups or third-party sites that may offer updates, as these can often be fraudulent. Now, how can you identify and report phishing attempts? So to identify and report phishing attempts, you're going to want to make sure you do this because phishing is one of the most common cyber attacks out there. Recognize these common signs. Look for urgent or emotionally appealing language that pressures you to act immediately. Be cautious of requests for personal or financial information. That's how they get you. Check for untrusted shortened URLs and incorrect email addresses. Be wary of emails from first-time or infrequent senders, especially if marked as external. Verify suspicious messages, right? Avoid clicking on links or attachments in suspicious messages. So if the message seems legitimate, manually visit the organization's official website instead of using provided links. Contact the supposed sender through a different communication method to verify the message's authenticity, right? So when it comes to reporting phishing attempts, use built-in reporting tools, Microsoft or Outlook, right? Most email clients offer a report phishing option. Use it to report and remove suspicious messages from your inbox. You can also report to the authorities, right? Report phishing emails to the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, via their website or by calling 877-ID-THEFT. Contact your local law enforcement or the FBI if you believe you have been targeted. Report internet phishing to the Anti-Phishing Working Group and the FBI Internet Crime Complaint Center, the IC3. Inform financial institutions, right? If the phishing attempt involves your bank or financial accounts, notify your bank immediately. Okay, if you have disclosed sensitive information, consider contacting credit reporting agencies to place a fraud alert on your file. Well, that is what I have for you today. Please take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and the like button. Once again, if you like this video, please take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and the like button. I appreciate your viewership. Stay safe and see you on the next video.